All alone in a danger zone. Are you ready to take my hand? All alone in a flame of doubt. Are we going to lose it all? I could never leave you in the city lights. I could never beat the storm in your eyes, the storm in your bright eyes. All alone in the danger zone. Are you ready to take my hand? All alone in the flame of doubt. Are we going to lose it all? Looking in between the space in the city lights. Only I receive the stars in your eyes, the stars in your dark eyes. All alone in the danger zone. Are you ready to take my hand? All alone in the flame of doubt. Are we going to lose it all? Let's put some light into our lives, but keep the storm that's in your eyes. Let's put some light into our lives. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care of you. During good times. The not so good days. And the bad. A helping hand for everyone. Every moment in life, we make it easier for you. That's what we do. Let's meet in Brussels at the World Social Security Forum 2019. WSSF 2019, protecting people in a changing world.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Government of Belgium, the International Social Security Association and the Public Social Security Institutions of Belgium, I would like to welcome you at the 2019 World Social Security Forum. We started this World Forum with the Belgian artist Blanche, who achieved an impressive 4th place at the Eurovision Song Contest in 2017 with the song City Lights. She was joined on stage by dancer Jens van Noten in a choreography by Tommy Grisson. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you come from different parts of the world, so what I want to tell you right away is that simultaneous interpreting is being provided in 7 different languages. As you can see in a minute behind me, we have translation into English, because not everything will be done in English on stage. It's channel number 1. If you need translation to French, it's channel number 2, Spanish, channel number 3, German, channel number 4, Russian, channel number 5, Chinese, channel number 6, and Arabic, channel number 7. All right, let's move on with the order of the day. It was here in Brussels, ladies and gentlemen, the International Social Security Association began in 1927. And 92 years later, with 320 member institutions from over 150 countries, the ISA is the leading international organization for social security institutions. The theme of this World Forum this year is protecting people in a changing world. And the next few days will be devoted to the protective power that social security offers in a world that is constantly evolving. Demographic changes, labor market transformation and technological innovation create significant challenges, but at the same time they also provide a potential for opportunities. The program for the next few days, as well as the social activities to which you're very much invited by the Belgian Public Social Security Institutions as the National Organizing Committee, will enable you to exchange inspiring ideas with each other about the major global challenges in social security, establish new contacts and discover future-proof concepts to strengthen the social protection of people all around the world. I wish you a very interesting and enriching forum. These plenary sessions this morning will be broadcast live. It will be streamlined on the ISA website. And now I would like to invite on the floor, or to the floor, the Belgian president of the National Organizing Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jean-Marc van den Berg.
Chers délégués de l'ISS, chers partenaires de la sécurité sociale. En fait, j'aurais aimé qu'il pleuve aujourd'hui. Oui, en Belgique, c'est quelque chose qui arrive. Ceci m'aurait permis de mieux introduire cela. Et ceci n'est pas un parapluie. Non, ce n'est pas un parapluie. Et non, nous ne vous avons pas donné ceci parce qu'il pleut tout le temps en Belgique. Non. Ceci n'est pas un parapluie, c'est un outil de protection, un symbole de protection sociale. C'est pour cela que nous sommes ici, ensemble aujourd'hui, protéger les gens dans un monde en mutation. Et vous avez reçu ceci car vous êtes des protecteurs. Vous êtes ceux par qui la protection sociale se développe dans le monde. Vous êtes les protecteurs des gens, vous êtes la sécurité sociale mondiale, celle qui apporte la justice sociale, la stabilisation du pouvoir d'achat en période de crise, la garantie d'un bien-être et un filet de sécurité contre l'adversité. Le tampon le plus important contre la pauvreté. Et ce Forum mondial de la sécurité sociale 2019, notre Forum mondial, nous apporte la visibilité. Il apporte la visibilité à tous ceux qui défendent et travaillent chaque jour, durement, pour donner un meilleur avenir à nos concitoyens. Chers collègues, nous sommes plus de 1300, originaires de plus de 150 pays et presque 400 organisations. Aujourd'hui, tous ensemble, nous poursuivons notre mission avec passion, c'est-à-dire promouvoir et développer des protections contre les contingences de la vie pour tous les êtres humains du monde dans le respect des principes de justice sociale. Vous partagez assurément mon avis que la sécurité sociale est un must pour l'humanité, car elle n'apporte pas seulement une vie décente aux gens, elle apporte au plus haut niveau, surtout et principalement, la stabilité, la liberté et la paix. La Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme nous rappelle d'ailleurs, dans son article 22, que toute personne, en tant que membre de la société, a droit à la sécurité sociale. Et pourtant, nous savons que la protection sociale n'atteint que 30% de la population mondiale. Nous le savons, protéger les personnes dans un monde en mutation, ce n'est pas seulement une mission ambitieuse, mais c'est également un défi majeur. Ce défi, ou plutôt ces défis, sont au nombre de 10. Le vieillissement des populations, l'avènement de technologies disruptives, les flux migratoires, la santé de nos citoyens, les nouvelles formes de travail toujours plus nombreuses, ainsi que quelques autres. Face à ceux-ci, des approches innovantes sont nécessaires. C'est ce dont nous allons parler tout au long de la semaine, 3 ans après le Forum mondial de Panama qui a présenté ces mêmes défis. Et nous ferons cela particulièrement ce lundi matin avec nos intervenants belges qui vont spécifiquement couvrir les défis qui nous sont propres en Belgique. Ce forum mondial nous invite à faire ensemble de nouveaux pas en avant et d'aller juste un peu plus loin. Le social est ce qui nous rassemble. En fait, cette semaine, je vous convie à rencontrer 3 dimensions sociales. À côté de la protection sociale qui nous anime tous, nous vous proposons également aujourd'hui, au sein de ce forum, un programme social, mais aussi un certain engagement social. Nous avons souhaité ce forum comme un moment d'échange, de rencontre et de découverte. Je vous invite donc à découvrir notre petite brochure qui présente la Belgique sous ses faces les plus sociales, mais aussi conviviales et innovatives, et ce, en 8 langues différentes. Pour nos hôtes étrangers, nous avons souhaité que cet espace de rencontre qu'est le forum puisse aussi se faire de façon plus décontractée, dans notre bar à bière, ou lors de la visite de l'un ou l'autre musée typiquement belge, et bien sûr, lors de notre cocktail d'accueil tout à l'heure en fin d'après-midi. Et puis, il y a aussi, à côté de la protection sociale et du programme social, l'engagement social et sociétal de ce forum. Autant que possible, avons-nous eu recours à des entreprises locales et sociales, à des travailleurs moins valides par exemple, pour nous aider dans la confection de vos sacs, dans la fabrication des délicieux cookies de nos pauses café. Nous distribuons les restes de nos repas à des personnes qui en ont besoin et avons tenté d'utiliser au maximum des matériaux recyclés ou réemployables. Un tel forum, 3 fois social, ne pouvait pas faire moins. Mesdames et messieurs les ministres, vice-ministres, chers représentants des institutions membres de l'AISS, chers représentants des organisations internationales et régionales, chers partenaires de la sécurité sociale belge, du monde et au-delà, mesdames et messieurs, chers collègues, en Belgique, nous sommes issus d'un héritage social ancien. Certaines organisations belges étaient ainsi membres fondateurs de l'AISS il y a plus de 90 ans. Le système de sécurité sociale belge est considéré comme l'un des plus progressistes d'Europe. Nous sommes un pays qui a organisé un régime de sécurité sociale obligatoire et inclusif depuis 75 ans. Cette année, depuis 75 ans. C'est pourquoi c'est pour moi un devoir et un plaisir de célébrer ce moment particulier avec vous, de faire de ce forum une occasion unique d'apprendre l'un de l'autre, de se comprendre, de se rencontrer. As chair of the World Social Security Forum 2019's National Organizing Committee, I am very pleased to welcome you on behalf of my country and all the Belgian public social security institutions united here for the event. I would like to thank all those who have contributed, are contributing, and will contribute to the realization of this event, which I think will be memorable. I wish you an excellent forum. I wish you exciting encounters, amazing learning, and fruitful exchanges. And to conclude, I leave the last word to Ellen Keller, who did so much for the cause of people with disabilities, and whose advice must always inspire us. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Seuls, nous pouvons faire si peu. Ensemble, nous pouvons faire beaucoup. Solos podemos hacer poco. Juntos podemos hacer mucho. Dank u et bon forum.
Well, thank you very much, Jean-Marc van den Berg, General Administrator, Auxiliary Unemployment Benefit Fund, and also the Belgian President of the National Organizing Committee. You might know or not know, ladies and gentlemen, that Belgium's social security system is one of the most progressive in Europe. And this year, we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of Belgian social security. These 2 points, combined with the fact that the Belgian public social security institutions are hosting this World Forum, justifiably make our next speaker very proud. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have a round of applause for the Minister of Social Affairs and Public Health, Asylum and Migration, Magie de Blok.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very honored as the Belgian Minister for Social Affairs. I can be part of the World Social Security Forum of the International Social Security Association. I'm also proud of our social security institutions who have been organizing this. They have succeeded in having the World Forum take place in Brussels, and I hope it will be a happy reunion. The International Social Security Association was founded in 1927 here in Brussels under the auspices of the International Labour Organization, and today has over 320 members, institutions over 150 countries. Organizing such an event should not be underestimated. And this is a forum that lasts 5 days and has more than 1,300 participants. I would like to thank everyone who made this possible. The Belgian social security system exists for 75 years now. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on a number of issues. More than once, the Belgian system is referred to as an example. But I also realize that the work will never be really finished. Our social security system needs to keep up with the times in order to stay alive and kicking. It will have to adapt to a changing society, to a changing world. So I would like to ask you a question. Why is social security so important for everyone? A modern society provides security at key moments in the lives of its citizens, from birth to the well-deserved rest after a busy career or in case of adversity. So social security has proven to be an important instrument to combat poverty and loss of income. For example, during the financial crisis, it ensured that far fewer jobs were lost here than in other European countries. It was our social security that has proven to be a social safety net. In addition to a safety net, our social security must become more of a stepping stone, a social security system that protects but also activates. And personally, I'm working hard on it, since 1999 as a member of parliament and in recent years as a minister. Let me give you two examples. At first, in Belgium, employees, civil servants and self-employed persons are treated differently when it comes to social protection. So can these differences still be justified? Our society is increasingly falling for an equal social status for everyone who works. And therefore, I have a plan for 10 years to work on that. I don't know in which position, but I will do it. So secondly, our labor market is changing rapidly under the influence of digitalization. Jobs are being lost, but there are more jobs being created in Belgium. So the challenge is to ensure that our employees have sufficient skills to cope also there with a changing world. A modern social security system must take this into account. A modern system must be able to deal with job losses in a preventive way rather than patching it up with welfare payments. I would therefore argue in favor of turning education, or especially the lack of skills in the labor market, into a new social risk. A social risk that is combated by our social insurance. This is a fundamental change in the way our social system looks at unemployment. Finally, I'm delighted that there are so many participants from all over the world. Sometimes we don't even think about it anymore, but why is international cooperation so necessary? We need international standards that define minima, especially in the area of social dumping. It corrects the distortions that exist in the labor market, and it works in the European Union today. It has the effect of reducing the difference in labor costs and increasing the minimum social rights. And by extension, world trade and international cooperation bring more stability and peace. That is something quite different from protectionism and wanting to do it on your own. This is why it's so important that we share experience and expertise with each other in order to secure our social security for the future. I look forward to taking part in the debate at this World Summit on Friday morning, and I wish you all 5 more instructive days, and hopefully you will take some time to enjoy our beautiful capital, Brussels. It's the capital of Belgium and the heart of Europe. Enjoy your time in Brussels.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. De Blok, Minister of Social Affairs and Public Health, Asylum and Migration. It was mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, that it was in this very city in Brussels that the International Social Security Association was founded under the auspices of the International Labour Organization, the ILO, in October 1927. 92 years after its foundation, I have the great pleasure to giving the floor to the President of the International Social Security Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a very warm round of applause, Professor Dr. Joachim Breuer.
Okay, that was not the moment to dance for everyone, perhaps afterwards to have some movements that are good for health. No, this is the moment to listen to the third welcome and opening speech. And let me begin with the formal things, for sure, to welcome the distinguished Minister de Bloch. Here, the ministers and vice ministers, and there are also some prime ministers here in the room. Sorry, I should have mentioned them in advance. The general directors, plural, directors of the Belgian public social security institutions, dear representatives of ISA members institutions, representatives of international and regional organizations, ladies and gentlemen, and to a lot of you, I can really say, dear friends and colleagues. It is really a great honor and tremendous pleasure to welcome all of you to the ISA World Social Security Forum 2019. Thank you, really you, for having followed our call to join us here in Brussels, to this really exciting city in the heart of Europe. And as a European, I can tell you this is not the hidden capital of Europe. This is really a symbol for Europe and the city where Europe is alive. It is a historic and moving to be back to Brussels, the very city that was mentioned 2 times before, where our association was founded 92 years and 10 days ago on the 4th of October, 1927. In this respective year, in 1927, Social Security was the privilege of a few. 17 sickness benefit institutions providing protection at that time to 20 million people in 9 countries came together to celebrate the first ISA General Assembly and to begin what was not sure at that time, a long and successful history of international collaboration in social security. Tough and honest people at that time who were not a minority, but who were people who had a vision and had a goal and had something that they had in common. And that was the idea that social security is not only a regional, not only a national issue, but is really an international challenge at that time, and I think it still is. Being back to Brussels for our 33rd General Assembly, 92 years later, we only need to look around, and I have the overview here from that wonderful perspective here, to realize the real global importance of social security and of our association today. The ISA now brings together, we have heard that, and I would love to quote that every day, because it's not self-understanding, it's not explaining that way, that we have more than 320 institutions providing social security protection. And that does not only mean that there are 320 institutions here. We, the ISA, you, the ISA, we represent more than 3 billion people on the globe every day. This is the World Global Forum on Social Security. And this week in Brussels, 92 years after the first ISA General Assembly with 40 participants at that time, we can celebrate the biggest ever ISA World Social Security Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud to announce, you've heard the figures, of nearly 1,400, far beyond 1,300 registered participants. That means 1,350, let me take the middle of the 2 groups, leading persons, CEOs, specialists, managers, on the globe's social security institutions. This is unique, absolutely unique. And what even makes me more proud at this moment is that we never had in history of our association a higher numbers of countries present at an event like this. You have heard also these figures, representatives from Social Security from 152 countries are at this very moment gathered in this room. This is not only for our association, this is for the issue of Social Security, another historic moment in showing just what a truly unique global Social Security community the ISA is. Having representatives of 152 countries in one room, there's only one comparative on the international level, that is when UN organizations meet. And you know we are a UN-related organization, and we are the globe in Social Security. Let me express the sincerest gratitude of the leadership and the entire global membership of the association to the public Social Security institutions of Belgium for their invitation to celebrate this World Social Security Forum 2019 in Brussels. And let me also thank the government, expressively here, Minister De Blok of Belgium, for its support to this event and the strong commitment to social security, which is confirmed in a remarkable way by the high-level presence of the government representatives at this opening ceremony. Thank you for honoring the association by joining us today, and not only today, you're coming back on Friday. And what you also have heard, and it is worthwhile to mention it again, that the World Forum 2019 coincides with a very special anniversary, 75 years of the current social security system in Belgium. Your social security system has not only been an example in meeting the objectives of coverage and solidarity, also it has been able to adapt dynamically throughout its history, as the successes in the ISA Good Practice Award for Europe once again demonstrated this year. And I think the ISA can be proud, having Belgium been awarded with a European Award for Good Practice in Social Security, and Belgium can be proud having achieved that award. So let me, on behalf of the ISA membership, congratulate again the government, the social security institutions, and all involved in social security in Belgium on this important anniversary. Happy birthday, 75 is wonderful, and for the next 75 good years. I believe we have a fantastic condition for our important discussions this week, being in the middle of this beautiful and historically rich city of Brussels. We will have many opportunities to get to know Belgium better this week through an outstanding program of social events offered by our hosts. And Belgium is not only beer and museum, Belgium is much more. I wish to therefore also thank in particular the National Organizing Committee under the leadership of my dear colleague and friend Jean-Marc Vandenberg and his team for the restless efforts during the last month in preparation of our event here. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we have, at first, a great privilege. We have the privilege to discuss how to strengthen social security systems to protect people in a changing world. This theme of the World Forum expresses just how important social security is for individuals, societies, and economies. Social security matters. Our debates this week matter. What we will discuss here in Brussels, the strategies we define, and the solutions we identify will have a great real impact on populations. In the ISA, we are not just talking about theories. We, leading and representing the world's social security institutions, are at the forefront of efforts to give people a sense of security, to build cohesive societies, and to work towards inclusive economies. This week, we also have an important responsibility. Social security needs to adapt in a rapidly changing world. The ISA work on the 10 global challenges for social security has brought together the key socio-demographic, labor market, and economic transformations. Importantly, these are not only abstract challenges. These are not challenges of the others. These are challenges we are facing. We as social security systems. And these transformations and the accelerating change create new risks and insecurities for populations worldwide. Examples include the labor market changes brought about by the digital economy, which puts workers at risk of losing employment, of finding their skills being made obsolete, or of having to accept types of work not covered by social security. Or, as I mentioned, a lot of other opportunity. We have to face the risk that the digital economy, by all positive developments for human beings, by all positive developments for the economies, by all the building and establishing of new workplaces, should not go into the direction that we will get a new informal sector of people not being covered by social security. Consider the growing number of the old population and the absolutely unmet needs for long-term care in many regions of the globe. Perhaps a lot of leading people haven't realized that aging population is not only a challenge for pension system. It's not only a challenge for healthcare system. One of the biggest challenges we are facing in that area is how to look for the old people and their need that is increasing very fast in the area of long-term care. And it's a disaster to realize that there are less than 10 specific systems on the globe that look for long-term care. All the others are included in general system, or there are less than 5% of the people on the globe who have access to long-term care benefits. Reflect on the question of social security coverage, with the coverage gap closing too slowly and rapid economic change putting at risk current levels of coverage. And don't blame the others. It's upon us as the global social security community, to formulate appropriate answers to these challenges. It is upon us to identify innovative solutions and to take bold action to protect people in a changing world. This is our responsibility. Thankfully, this week provides us also with a unique opportunity. I strongly believe that the necessary knowledge to meet social security challenge is gathered in this very room. In a world of rapid change, we cannot only rely on our own ideas. We need to look across borders. We need to seek inspiration from institutions in other countries that face similar challenges. We need each other's ideas and experiences. And as president of our association, I'm proud that the ISA is effective in providing a unique opportunity to be inspired by colleagues from around the world, of all of you, throughout the year, but especially during this week in Brussels. This is the role of our association, which is not only a distant international organization somewhere there in Geneva with commissions, statutory bodies, a secretariat, and so on. No, it is us, a global community, a community of committed professionals to which we can turn for support and ideas. This week is the opportunity for all of us to learn, to exchange, to network, with the objective to strengthen social security system back in our home countries. And I believe that the extraordinary program that has been prepared for this forum will allow us to fully use this opportunity. First, some impressive numbers. 75 sessions will take place over the coming 5 days on topics of interest to all of us. And no less than 195 speakers and panelists will share the experience on stage with us. Beyond numbers, I'm pleased to see that the key priorities for social security will be taken up in the program. Let me provide you with a very brief outline of what we can expect during the coming days. We will start by a plenary session on innovative solutions to the 10 key challenges for social security this afternoon, which will give us the occasion to take stock where we are in social security. That means not only looking at the challenges, but looking for the ways to solutions. Tomorrow, we will look at the challenges and opportunities brought about by the digital age. After some years of debates and analysis, we now know that social security's role will be essential in protecting people in the digital economy, but we need to find innovative solutions regarding coverage, financing, and benefits, all of which we will be looking into tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will focus on our institutional capacities to meet the challenges of the future in terms of excellence and innovations. 30 breakout sessions on ISA guidelines and projects of our technical commissions will be an opportunity to learn about what is best practice in social security administration. And the fourth day of our forum will turn to various perspectives of our objective to strengthen the social impact of social security. This includes meeting the needs of an aging population, tackling inequalities, extending coverage to the informal sector, and outlining the importance of contributory social security systems to reach universal social protection, the Sustainable Development Goal, what also ISA is working on to get reality. And on the last day, the floor will be given to ministers and representatives of international organizations to formulate a strong message about the importance of social security for reaching global economic and social development objectives. And of course, we have prepared some special highlights and novelties. The launch of a new ISA report on innovative solutions to the 10 global challenges to social security, as well as of new ISA guidelines on error, evasion, and fraud. An events app, and I hope you all have downloaded it. I did it some days ago, and that provides you with a whole new dimension of networking opportunities. Use it. It's the sometimes closest way to get in touch with the people who are not sitting just aside of you. The first ever ISA Innovation Zone, which is different from anything you've seen at an ISA event before. No theoretical presentations, but hands-on demonstrations. No big audience, but practice-oriented discussions. We invite you to be inspired. On Thursday, early in the morning, we will have the kickoff session of the first global forum of the work injury insurance, which is a new ISA initiative to enhance collaboration on work injury programs. It's for early bird types because it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning in room 210. Later on Thursday, we will have a special session to celebrate the centenary of the ISA sister organization, the ILO. You can call her a sister, brother, mother, father organization, however you call it. ILO and ISA, we are really two international organizations who are the closest one working together. And finally, the announcement of the recipient of the ISA Award for Outstanding Achievements in Social Security on Friday, which again will be a special highlight for the association. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe all is prepared for an extraordinary World Social Security Forum. All is prepared so that we can fully benefit from the extraordinary opportunity of this gathering of around 1,400 Social Security experts offers to us. Before closing, let me briefly come back to the importance of being in Brussels, at the heart of Europe, for this World Forum. As you all know, Social Security was founded in the heart of Europe, in the middle of Europe. In its long history, Social Security has adapted to social and economic upheaval and has contributed immensely to supporting economic and social development. Since its origins, Social Security has been a part of a vision that emphasizes social justice, that combats excessive inequalities, and that promotes universally inclusiveness and solidarity. It is these values on which social security systems have been built and which have also underpinned the establishment and growth of our association. And it is these values that we have to carry to a new era of digitalization, aging, and other transformations. I'm convinced that together we will be successful. And I'm convinced that this World Forum can be a historic milestone in this regard. We have three things. We have the opportunity, we have the privilege, and don't forget that, we have the responsibility to do so. Let's go for it. I'm looking forward to a successful week. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Joachim Breuer, President of ISA. Well, this speech, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this opening ceremony. But before we go into the coffee break, I want to share with you some practicalities. There are 6 stands in the foyer all week long. They are by ISA, of course, Socieux Plus, IPPS, mutual health organizations, trade unions, and a stand shared by Expertise France, RAVE, and EN3S. These stands are located at the same floor as we are now in the Gold Hall, and be sure to stop by and try to do that regularly because, for example, at the ISA stand, you can get their updates, reports, and also daily free giveaways. In the foyer, you will also find an exhibition on 90 years of ISA. There's a selfie wall and there's also a Twitter wall. So during the World Forum, there are 2 hashtags we advise you to use. It's hashtag ISAWSSF and hashtag ProtectingYou2019. And this last one, the hashtag ProtectingYou2019, is especially for sharing stories about your work as social security institutions that help people protect or that help people protect people in a changing world. So don't hesitate as well to take pictures or to make a video in front of the WSSF selfie wall in the Silver Foyer. And if it is shared on Twitter using the right hashtags, you can see yourself on the Twitter hall in the opposite room. So please sure to do so, because it's not only fun, but it promotes also the important work and exchanges happening here at the WSSF. I also kindly invite to download the WSSF 2019 app, as Mr. Breuer mentioned before. It will also be used this afternoon during the session to ask questions at the panel members, for example. So if you need local Wi-Fi network, you go to ISA, that's the name of the network, and the password is WSSF. So in a minute, there's a coffee break, and thanks to the best of Belgium, you can also enjoy the pralines of Twerk and the biscuits from De Winning with your cup of coffee. These are two social organizations that employ people with special needs and help them explore and develop their potential in a fulfilling work environment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to tell you for now. On behalf of the government of Belgium, ISA, and the Public Social Security Institutions of Belgium, I wish you a very pleasant break. I expect you back here in the same room at 11 o'clock sharp for the national presentation, Belgium and Social Security. See you later. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I know we have to start again. We have to keep an eye on the time. I hope you have enjoyed your coffee and the Belgian pralines and biscuits. And now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to zoom in on how a number of Belgian experts view the challenges of social security. It is a moment of great importance for the Belgian social security system because, as you know by now, it's celebrating its 75th anniversary. Each of the four speakers will share his or her view on social security based on his or her background and experience. So in a moment, we will start with the first of the four speakers, but before we do so, of course, you have to take a seat before we do so, and we're also going to watch a video.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to the World Social Security Forum. Also, welcome to Belgium. As you know, every country in the world has to deal with stereotypes that are hard to get rid of. Belgium is no exception, so here are a few things I'd like to review before getting started. First of all, there is this idea that the only famous Belgians are limited to Tintin, the Smurfs, and Hercule Poirot. Characters who basically don't exist. There are plenty of famous Belgians. Just think of Magritte, Hergé, Amélie Nothomb, Jacques Brel, Toots Tielemans, Stromae, Kim Kleisters. Secondly, we do not only drink beer. We also have the occasional Geneva from time to time. Nor do we only eat French fries and waffles. We're just different. We value our well-being, making us some of the most contented people in the world. When we think of providing security, most of us think of our kids, which makes sense. But the kind of security we stand for goes beyond the people living under your roof. We're referring to a different kind of family, regardless of background, age, gender, and income.
J'aime le sentiment de ne pas me sentir seul. Je trouve très rassurant de pouvoir me replier sur quelque chose de quelqu'un. Et en vieillissant, j'ai vraiment fait l'expérience de cette valeur ajoutée, cette solidarité.
Solidarity. It's so fundamental to us that it's the backbone of our social security. It makes us feel safe.
Je veilig voelen is zo belangrijk. En dat heeft dan niet per se te maken met gevaar trotseren, maar weten dat je gewoon verder kan, zonder je eigenlijk ergens zorgen over te moeten maken. En daar gaat het om. Na mijn ingreep heb ik mij gewoon kunnen focussen op mijn revalidatie. Zonder eigenlijk mijn leven te moeten reorganiseren. Zonder in te boeten op mijn levenskwaliteit.
Quality of life. That's what it's all about, isn't it? There's a saying that really defines Belgians. They say we're born with a brick in our stomachs. Basically, it means we want a place we can call home and a friend to fall back on when things didn't go exactly the way we planned. We've been continuously building on that need for protection for 75 years now. Contrary to other countries, our system combines income-related insurance with poverty reduction. There's a reason why we're a country with one of the lowest Gini indexes in the world, and our e-government model is considered a best practice worldwide. We're also front runners with regard to innovation and digitalization. So next time you think about Belgium, don't think about this. Unless you look at it in terms of how important social security is to us. It's about making sure everyone feels like they matter. Certain situations simply require a bit of support. It's a social thing. And there's nothing stereotypical about that.
The first challenge, if I may have your attention, please. Thank you. The first challenge we will be addressing this morning is the closing of the coverage gap. The social security system in Belgium is built on a solid foundation, and as it was mentioned in the video before, it's called solidarity. Solidarity between people who are employed, who are unemployed, between healthy and sick people, between young people and elderly, between people with an income and without an income, families with and without children. But equal access to social protection, that is easier said than done. So how do we ensure that everyone is well protected in an uncertain and constantly changing world? As an introduction of this first challenge, we're going to watch a second video.
50% of the world has no access to social security. We're very fortunate to be living in a country where social protection is a way of life, where our children can benefit from a system that values their needs. Worldwide, 2 out of 3 kids do not have that advantage. And 50% of the world does not have what we have, one of the most progressive social security systems in the world.
Als freelance make-up artist kon ik het me niet permitteren om lang oud te zijn. Bij mijn eerste bevalling was ik dan ook na enkele weken terug op de been. Mails beantwoorden, de boekhouding doen. Ik ben 7 maanden geleden bevallen van Emile en ik heb deze keer echt ten volle kunnen genieten van mijn kindje. Ik heb 12 weken moederschapsrust genomen met uitkering en ik had ook recht op dienstenchecks, dus top. Ik kan nu volop mama zijn zonder te moeten stressen over werk of de financiële kant ervan. Dus ja, ik geniet volop van mijn kinderen. En straks kan ik weer helemaal opgeladen terug aan de slag.
Natalie can focus all her attention on what matters and then go back to work without having the feeling that she missed out on something. Everyone in Belgium can benefit from a broad variety of public social services. The self-employed have had their own social security system since 1968. Families have a right to a family allowance, and if for some reason someone should lose their income, a monthly benefit is provided for. Some social beneficiaries also pay less for public transport and public utilities. Also, everyone aged over 65 is guaranteed an income, and 99% of the population has access to our healthcare system. We're very proud of these numbers because we've worked hard to make sure people in Belgium get what they're entitled to. And since the application process is increasingly digital, it's easier for people to apply. So there's less hassle for the applicant to overcome. We're closing the coverage gap.
That's the first topic that we're going to discuss. Thank you. Based on her national and international academic experience, Bea Cantillon will set the tone by broadly outlining the importance of social security and indicating how the principles of 75 years ago continue to retain their full importance into the future, even though our social security system faces different challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Foundation for International Studies on Social Security at the University of Antwerp. Please welcome Bea Cantillon.
So, I think it is clear. We in Belgium, we are proud of our social security system. Ivo van Straeten, a Belgian poet, has put it this way. The things of value cannot be counted on two hands. In Belgium, I immediately think of the adoration of the mystic lamp and social security. Currently, Van Eyck's mystic lamp is being restored, but you can admire the work in St. Bav's Cathedral in Ghent, and I would say don't miss it. But our social security system is also in restoration, and I should say in constant restoration. And let me start with two stories. The story of Mark, a story that recently was recorded by a caseworker who is taking care of him. Mark is 29. He dropped out of school when he was 18. Over the past decade, he had several small jobs, and now he's unemployed. We practice telephone calls, job interviews, the attitude, etc. And Mark was successful. He got a job. Mark is very happy, waking up with a smile and coming home singing. But a few months later, it turns out that the employer was in great financial difficulty. Mark was never paid. He must ask for advances from the Public Center for Social Welfare. He is once again looking for a job. Mark is intensively supported by social security services, and he gets social assistance in anticipation of his unemployment benefit. What a difference with the experience of GDG, a blue-collar worker, back in 1939. In his finest handwriting, he addresses a letter to His Excellency, the Minister of Labour and Social Welfare in Brussels, explaining his situation in detail. I have nothing left and no chance to find a job. Now comes a time of pure misery, gradually letting go of objects we were deeply attached to, clothing and our wedding rings, then finally running into debt with nothing left but a bleak future. The story of this unfortunate blue-collar worker was not an isolated case, far from it. During the 30s, there were hundreds of thousands uninsured, unemployed people living in misery. Through numerous visible and invisible ties, they were closely interwoven with the complex tapestry of the world economy. The absence of social security here and elsewhere was certainly an important element that contributed to the cataclysm that would erupt a year after GDG's desperate letter. Today, and not always without reason, we tend to draw parallels with the pre-war period. But the stories of Mark and GDG point to at least one big difference, and that is social security. In the 30s, only half of the employees had social insurance. There was no legal right to social protection, and unemployment was rampant, hitting the broad middle classes. Today, unemployment is largely limited to the unskilled in the lower end of the labor market. Mark is entitled to social security, and he gets guidance and support. This is all thanks to the creation after the war of the new social order we call the active welfare state. Social security is like our cathedrals. It is a complex but solid monument, a monument of protection and societal stability, closely interwoven with Belgium's social and economic history. It provides not only social protection, but also, in a broader sense, societal security. It protects individuals and their families against what Lord Beveridge called the 5 giants on the road of reconstruction: want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. And in doing so, social security provides stability for society as a whole. It is a buffer in the event of unexpected economic and societal shocks, such as the 2008 global financial crisis, and it is a vehicle to guide society through slow social, economic, and demographic transitions. Social security entails reciprocity, quid pro quo. Contributions must be paid in order to be entitled to protection. But social security is also based on solidarity. Higher incomes and lower risk groups pay more than is necessary from an insurance point of view. This enables decent protection, also for those most affected by social risks, by negative consequences of shocks, and by the creeping impact of slow economic and social transformations. Social security is thus fueled by self-interest and by solidarity. Here lies its silent power. Social security is big. It represents more than 30% of GDP. It is fed by economic production, but it also supports the economy by ensuring social peace, by stabilizing purchasing power in times of crisis, as an interface between the working population and the labor market, and by accommodating the work-life balance. Social security and the economy live in symbiosis. They need each other. But the relationship with the market is not without conflict and struggle. Social security was enforced through sometimes harsh social conflict. While it stabilizes and supports the market, it also increases the cost of labor. It emancipates and empowers workers, making them less dependent on the market. Social security is organized under public law, but it is not from the state. It is managed by its stakeholders, trade unions and employment organizations. The so-called social partners play a major role. They were the initiators. They contribute to the system. They are involved in policy making and in implementation. This governance structure gives social security a broad and stable societal basis. Social security is full of contradictions and tensions. It emancipates, but it also structures society and people's lives. It protects against social risks, but sometimes it also causes and maintains social risks. Moral hazard is difficult to fight evil. Social security is the single most important buffer against poverty. Although, paradoxically, combating poverty is absolutely not its primary aim. In Belgium, poverty is reduced by almost 40% thanks to social benefits. By redistributing to the sick, the unemployed, the old, it is the strongest instrument the welfare state has in hand to redistribute resources from the rich to the poor. After the war, social security has grown in symbiosis with the market on the waves of economic growth. This came at a great cost, but it stabilized the entire social, economic, and political system. Social security is a robust monument, yet not frozen. Since the 70s, the Belgian social security system hits troubled times. A long period of staggering economic and societal upheavals begins. Post-war growth starts to slow down. The limits of growth are becoming visible. Production shifts from industry to services. The global economy takes shape, and the emancipation of women speeds up. Families become less stable. For social security, this brings new, different challenges. And as a consequence, social security does gradually take a different course. Its basic principles remain largely intact. It adopts the design, adapts to the profound changes that mark the turn of the century. A long period of restoration begins, and social security safely guides society through the great new transformations. The role of the state becomes more sizable, not at least because more public funding is needed in order to cover new social risks and higher expenditures. The focus shifts from protection to prevention and activation. Social security receives a new mission: prepare and prevent, not only repair; activation, not only protection. Social security also facilitates women's emancipation. In order to meet the new social risks associated with the growing female labor force participation, new benefits are devised, such as parental leave and the care insurance. Aging, new and more expensive medical technologies are also leading to a steady increase in spending. Pensions and healthcare already account for about 70% of total social security spending. As a result, social security today is now working harder than ever before. Spending has never been as high as today. And this is a price for the safe guidance through the major transitions we experienced in the past 4 decades. And now, again, once again, social security must be restored to pilot society through the new major transformations that are ahead of us. Climate change, digitalization, migration, aging. Poverty is increasing, especially among children and among households who are most dependent on social security. And this is disappointing, disquieting, because it puts stress on the capability of society to cope with the deep transformations. Lord Stern quite rightly said that the most important challenges we face is overcoming poverty and managing climate change. If we fail on one, we will fail on the other. Social security has a new role to play. And let's go back to the story of Mark. Mark is low-skilled and nervous by nature. That makes him vulnerable. Like many other low-skilled people, he has trouble finding a steady job. In the active welfare state, employment has risen sharply, but the distribution of work is skewed. The number of households where all family members are in work, the so-called job-rich households, increased dramatically. They are typically higher skilled to earner families. Lower skilled people, however, did not or only marginally benefit from job growth. Half of them are jobless. For them, in the most recent decades, unemployment benefits have become less generous and more conditional. Mark has to make ends meet with an income that is lower than the poverty line. It becomes difficult for him to pay for rising housing and healthcare costs, energy and water bills. The result is a deep social cleavage between the job-rich families on the one hand and job-poor families on the other, between the haves and the have-nots. The former are those who can keep pace with today's complex society and the new economy, those who work hard and pay taxes and social contributions. The latter are those who have lost touch with the new economy and have, therefore, become dependent on social security. The losers are blamed, disciplined, and sometimes insulted by the complexity of social protection systems. The winners complain about too high a tax burden. This new divide has created major political tensions, tensions that deeply disturb the universal call to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. This urges social protection to action. Belgium's social security system has never been based on a blueprint of a closed future. It has grown slowly, from the bottom up, constantly seeking new balances in a context of ever-changing tensions, in continual restoration. A new era of restoration and reimagination has begun. And once again, social security, both here and elsewhere in the world, is part of the solutions for the great challenges facing humankind. More and better social security is needed to make the climate change and climate transition possible, to navigate through the digital revolution, to distribute fairly the aging cost, to protect the most vulnerable, and to reap the benefits of progress, economic progress, social progress, all together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very interesting contribution, Bea Cantillon. Ever more powerful and faster digitization is transforming our environment and also our working world. What is the impact of digitization on our social security? What challenges await us and what are the consequences? That is what we are going to talk about now, and as an introduction of this topic, we get the following video.
The digital economy is rapidly changing our societies. It's changing the way we live, work, and organize our societies. It also has the power to expand and improve our social services.
Het elektronisch patiëntendossier is voor ons eigenlijk echt een kapstok in de zorgverlening. Het laat ons toe om heel snel te weten wie die patiënt is. Wat heeft hem in het verleden meegemaakt? Welke medicatie neemt hem? Heeft hij bepaalde allergieën? Wie zijn zijn contactpersonen? Wat vind ik daarvan? Wat vinden mijn collega's van die patiënt? Wat vinden andere artsen daarvan? Het is eigenlijk een tool om ons te laten samenwerken. Dankzij het EPD kunnen we in een mum van tijd over heel veel essentiële gezondheidsgegevens beschikken. Het redt levens.
1 out of 2 GPs sends medical certificates to health insurance funds digitally. Patient reimbursements can be issued immediately afterwards. Modern technology allows our social security to become increasingly efficient. Already, more than 1 billion paper exchanges were replaced by an electronic equivalent. Almost all the hospitals and GPs have switched to electronic patient files. G-Cloud, our government's highly secure cloud computing program, allows us to quickly and efficiently share software and smart applications. It cuts costs and reinforces our service to civilians and companies. Shall I give you an example? An increasing number of social rights, benefits and allowances are paid out automatically. Also, with the My Benefits app, people always have a digital certificate of their social security status at the touch of a button. meaning they can access what they're entitled to at all times. This is also very beneficial for local governments, sports centres, utility companies, museums and cultural centres, because they can always check whatever information they need about the person standing in front of them. We also use artificial intelligence to track down social fraud. People with a fictitious status as employee or people who pretend to be self-employed in order to make an unfair claim towards disability or unemployment benefits are immediately identified by our computer. And there are many, many more examples like this. One thing's for sure, technology is constantly evolving, and that offers new possibilities. And that most definitely applies to our social security. So we're always keeping our eyes and ears open for solutions that can make our service even more attuned to modern life. So as far as we're concerned, new technologies equal new opportunities.
Pierre van der Vorst is a key witness to social security. He was born at the same time as social security, as it were, so with this we know also his age. He tells a story that he has fully co-written, a story of permanent modernization of the social security system. Digitization was, in fact, clearly on the agenda right from the start. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of Smols, Pierre van der Vorst.
Chers amis de la sécurité sociale venus du monde entier et de Belgique, bonjour. En rejoignant Bruxelles, vous savez sans doute qu'il y a eu dans notre capitale d'autres événements exceptionnels que ce forum mondial, et en particulier l'hommage qui a été rendu à notre Eddy Merckx national pour les 50 ans de sa première victoire au Tour de France. Ce Tour de France qui partit de Bruxelles cette année a également fêté par la même occasion les 100 ans de son maillot jaune qui est destiné aux meneurs et puis aux vainqueurs. Mais cet hommage a montré qu'au-delà du palmarès du champion, du quantitatif, ce qui importait, c'était ce qu'il nous montrait d'exemplaire. C'est ce qu'il nous offrait comme figure d'inspiration. Et en habillant les institutions publiques de sécurité sociale belges de ce jaune Merckx que j'ai repris en sous-titre de mon exposé, en fait, je n'entends pas me contenter d'énumérer les nombreux awards qui ont été décrochés ces dernières années par ces institutions, ni parler des justificatifs des jurys qui sont fort intéressants au demeurant. Ce que j'entends faire avec vous, c'est mettre en avant ce qui, au jour le jour, a fait qu'elles ont accompli au mieux leur mission, leur métier, ce qui finalement leur a permis et leur permet toujours d'apprivoiser, de mener la transition technologique due à la numérisation qui est en cours. Alors ce jaune, cet or, ce trésor d'une certaine réussite, je voudrais essayer de le partager avec vous. Évidemment, le temps est particulièrement court, mais j'espère qu'il sera suffisamment apéritif. Je partirai des racines profondes, j'évoquerai les mises en orbite qui me paraissent marquantes, il y en a 6, et je terminerai par les sondes qui sont susceptibles d'ouvrir des chemins d'avenir, il y en a 3. Les racines profondes. Les racines profondes, que se passe-t-il pendant la Deuxième Guerre mondiale dans la clandestinité? Eh bien, tout simplement, un comité patronal ouvrier, aidé par des hauts fonctionnaires et auxquels se joignent l'une ou l'autre personnalité politique qui joueront un rôle après la guerre. Ce comité va préparer l'après-guerre et il va conclure ce que l'on a appelé un projet d'accord de solidarité sociale. Et la transposition légale de cet accord, pour ce qui concerne la sécurité sociale, c'est ce fameux arrêté loi du 28 décembre 1944 dont, dans quelques semaines, on va fêter les 75 ans. Toutes les couvertures de notre sécurité sociale, toutes celles dont nous bénéficions aujourd'hui en Belgique de manière regroupée, généralisée, obligatoire, viennent de cette concertation sociale, de cette gestion déjà paritaire à laquelle se joignent des hommes politiques et donc on est déjà dans un pré-tripartisme. On est aussi parfaitement évidemment dans la ligne de la déclaration de Philadelphie de 1944 qui fête également ses 75 ans. Alors les mises en orbite. Les mises en orbite de notre sécurité sociale avec ces IPSS qui sont au sein de ces exposés. Nous allons en fait commencer par, comment dirais-je, le premier module qui nous importe, c'est ce que j'appelle le module participatif. Le module participatif, en chaussant de nouveau des bottes de ces lieux, c'est ce module qui tourne autour du concept de gestion paritaire. On pourrait évidemment beaucoup développer ce concept de gestion paritaire. C'est pour l'essentiel, bien entendu, la concertation entre des représentants de ceux qui sont concernés, les employeurs, les travailleurs et dans certains cas d'autres représentations comme la représentation des familles, la représentation du corps médical, etc. Et dans certains cas, il y a des représentants de l'autorité, ce qui nous permet de parler de tripartisme. Le deuxième module de tous ces modules arrimés dans notre espace de sécurité sociale et qui va nous retenir un peu plus longtemps, c'est le module ICT ou Banque Carrefour de la sécurité sociale. Tout a commencé par de la mécanographie. La mécanographie, à une certaine époque, c'était une technologie de pointe qui a anticipé sur toutes celles de l'information et de la communication, toutes celles, les nouvelles techniques de l'information, technologie de l'information et de la communication. Cette mécanographie a été testée chez nous dans le régime des allocations familiales et c'est grâce à notre connaissance et notre expérience de la mécanographie qu'en 1945, tout a démarré rapidement et sans accident. Ensuite, nous n'avons cessé de recourir aux supports techniques qui vont progressivement se fondre dans ce que l'on appelle le numérique, l'informatique, et qui vont permettre à notre sécurité sociale de se moderniser, à nos institutions de se moderniser en permanence, avec certaines dates importantes, certains moments plus importants que d'autres. Et je retiendrai à cet égard la fin des années 80, le début des années 90, avec la création de la Banque Carrefour de la sécurité sociale et le déploiement de l'e-gouvernement belge de la sécurité sociale qui a fait l'objet d'un nombre impressionnant de reconnaissances dans le Royaume, en Europe et dans le monde, reconnu comme best practice, comme pratique de référence. Et que se passe-t-il à ce moment-là avec l'institution de cette Banque Carrefour de la sécurité sociale? Eh bien, c'est l'émergence d'une stratégie commune à toutes les IPSS en matière de numérisation, en matière d'informatisation. C'est le développement d'un réseau entièrement sécurisé et informatisé d'échange de données qui relie plus de 3000 organismes acteurs pour la gestion et donc l'échange des données sociales. C'est le cœur du circuit qui va répondre aux attentes de l'ère numérique des entreprises, des professionnels et des citoyens, à savoir pouvoir disposer de services, de produits à tout moment, 24 heures sur 24, en tout lieu, en court-circuitant tous les obstacles toutes les lenteurs, tous les coûts du papier et en digitalisant intégralement les processus front office, back office, en n'oubliant pas les processus de traitement informatique, de traitement administratif de base et de contrôle moderne, le data mining, le data matching, etc., a priori, a posteriori. Dans la foulée, c'est tout le mode de fonctionnement de l'administration qui est bouleversé. Toutes les IPSS appliquent désormais le New Way of Working, le télétravail, bureau partagé, avec tout ce que cela implique de profils nouveaux, de compétences, de formations, de manières nouvelles d'œuvrer qui mettent en valeur, qui mettent en avant, les valeurs d'autonomie, de confiance et de responsabilité. Et c'est enfin l'exploration et l'exploitation des dernières avancées technologiques, parmi lesquelles toutes les applications mobiles utiles et parmi lesquelles ce que l'on appelle aussi l'intelligence artificielle et l'innovation fondée sur la masse des données recueillies. D'autres intervenants belges vous parleront de tout ceci de manière beaucoup plus concrète à partir de mardi, et en particulier Frank Robben, qui est l'administrateur général de la Banque Carrefour que je viens d'évoquer. Il y aura par exemple, je suppose qu'il vous parlera du chatbot, cet agent conversationnel qui dialogue depuis l'année dernière avec nos étudiants à leur convenance, quand ils le veulent et où ils le veulent, et qui leur permet, ainsi qu'à leurs employeurs, de savoir combien il leur reste de jours de travail en bénéficiant de dispenses ou de réductions de cotisations. On vous parlera peut-être aussi du robot Android qui est testé pour l'instant au guichet d'accueil d'une IPSS et qui permet au personnel dès lors de mieux s'occuper des visiteurs dont les dossiers sont plus complexes. Alors, les fameuses distinctions, je ne vais faire que les énumérer, d'en énumérer quelques-unes, peu, mais je pense suffisamment significatives. Les IPSS ont obtenu le Public Service Award de l'ONU en 2006. Ils l'ont obtenu dans la catégorie utilisation des technologies de l'information et de la communication par l'administration publique. En 2016, le projet J-Cloud, vous avez vu que le J-Cloud est une application extrêmement importante, je n'ai pas le temps de vous en parler en détail. Le J-Cloud, piloté par les IPSS belges, pour elles-mêmes et pour les services publics fédéraux, a été le grand gagnant des e-Gov Awards décernés par Agoria, qui est l'organisation belge ou association professionnelle belge des entreprises technologiques. Vous avez alors 2019, pour rester dans l'actualité immédiate, 2019, c'est bien entendu le prix AISS reçu à Bakou par les IPSS belges pour leurs bonnes pratiques en Europe, la numérisation et l'automatisation de leurs services. Un dernier exemple, en 2019, à Bucarest, à l'initiative de la Commission européenne, c'est la plateforme e-Health, une de nos IPSS, qui a été reconnue comme initiative européenne de services IT partagés, porteuse du plus grand impact sur les citoyens et les entreprises. Cela a permis à notre secrétaire général de dire de la Belgique qu'elle est une figure de proue dans la numérisation et l'automatisation. Alors, voilà pour le deuxième module. Le troisième module, c'est le module SMALS. Le module SMALS, c'est une association que j'ai l'honneur de présider, sans but lucratif, qui est donc de statut privé, qui a été créée il y a 80 ans et qui assiste à des degrés divers l'ensemble des IPSS pour la gestion de leur information. Soit en s'occupant directement de leur gestion, soit en mettant à disposition, elles qui relèvent à leur disposition, elles qui relèvent du secteur public, des collaborateurs IT dont ils ont besoin, et ce, aux conditions du marché. Quatrième module, c'est le collège qui vous reçoit aujourd'hui et qui est composé de l'ensemble des patrons des IPSS. Il a été créé d'initiative il y a 25 ans et il a joué un rôle, il continue à jouer un rôle important dans toute cette gouvernance que je viens de passer en revue très rapidement. Il est tout spécialement à l'origine du module suivant, qui est le module contractuel, qu'il a arraché, je dirais, d'initiative, encore une fois, avec ténacité et cohésion au monde politique. C'est quoi le module contractuel? C'est une manière nouvelle de gérer les choses publiques, c'est-à-dire de passer d'un régime de pure autorité à un régime de contractualisation avec le gouvernement. C'est donc une pratique qui fonctionne d'ailleurs au demeurant assez bien, inédite, d'articuler la relation entre le pouvoir exécutif, politique et les institutions. C'est une forme de tripartisme de nouveau parce que le gouvernement négocie non pas avec les patrons des IPSS, mais avec les institutions elles-mêmes, donc avec leur comité de gestion paritaire. 6e module, c'est le module financier. Le module financier, c'est ce que nous appelons la gestion financière globale, qui date de 1994-1995. Alors, ça présente 2 aspects pour aller à l'essentiel. Toutes les recettes de la sécurité sociale sont dans une seule caisse. On puise dans cette caisse selon les besoins et non plus selon des répartitions préétablies. Et ce qui est très important, c'est que si les recettes ne couvrent pas les besoins, l'Office national de sécurité sociale est tenu d'emprunter pour couvrir les besoins qui ne sont pas suffisamment rencontrés et sous réserve de revoir les règles par la suite. Le deuxième aspect intéressant de la gestion financière globale, c'est qu'on a créé, à côté du comité de gestion ordinaire, gestion paritaire traditionnelle, on a créé un comité de gestion tripartite dans lequel l'autorité siège, non plus en tant qu'autorité de contrôle, mais en tant qu'autorité de gestion, avec un tripartisme qui n'a pas encore été tout à fait réussi chez nous, en ce sens que nous ne sommes pas encore arrivés à un tripartisme de décision. Voilà pour les 6 modules. Il me reste à aborder les sondes. J'en ai retenu 3 qui sont parfaitement, me semble-t-il, transnationales, qui doivent nous permettre de détecter ce qui est à découvrir, ce qui change ou ce qui doit changer. Et de leur récolte, me semble-t-il, peut dépendre notre aptitude à peser sur le contenu de la sécurité sociale, ce qui n'était pas mon propos d'aujourd'hui, mais aussi notre capacité à bien ou à mieux arbitrer, confrontés que nous sommes à des tendances multiples en matière d'éthique, confrontés que nous sommes à des choix parfois difficiles, par exemple en matière d'infrastructures réseau, blockchain, par exemple, quel domaine de l'intelligence artificielle choisir. Monsieur Robben reviendra sur tous ces points avec vous dès mardi. La première sonde, c'est pour moi le tripartisme repensé. Nous devons, je crois, y compris en Belgique, je viens d'y faire allusion, faire progresser nos pratiques de tripartisme. Et pour qu'un tripartisme soit en bonne santé, il faut aussi que le dialogue entre les interlocuteurs sociaux, employeurs-travailleurs, donc la gestion paritaire traditionnelle, devienne là où elle ne l'est pas encore ou reste là où elle l'est déjà, un levier incontournable. Donc nous devons faire du tripartisme universel de l'OIT aussi loin que possible notre propre tripartisme. La deuxième sonde à laquelle je me réfère, c'est celle que j'appelle du qualitarisme large. Quand vous mettez vos pas dans l'étrier de la qualité, vous exprimez une quête d'excellence. Et c'est à cette qualité que le philosophe belge Pascal Chabot vient de consacrer un traité dense et éclairant, le traité des libres qualités, qui ne fait d'ailleurs que conforter de façon très argumentée la pertinence des lignes directrices de l'AISS sur la qualité des services et leur définition en matière de sécurité sociale. Alors, de quoi s'agit-il en très très bref? Bien entendu, nous faisons tout pour que nos applications, nos technologies fonctionnent bien. Nous faisons tout pour cela, mais ça ne suffit pas. Ça ne suffit pas, il faut que ce fonctionnement se mue, dit le philosophe, en qualitarisme, c'est-à-dire il faut faire en sorte que ce qui est techniquement fonctionnel, les machines, les logiciels, enfin, etc., se réalise en apportant du positif, sans effet négatif, notamment énergivore, en amont, en aval. Il faut faire de la qualité élargie. Et on peut évidemment élargir le débat. La qualité élargie, c'est la manière dont nous gérons nos institutions, notre manière de manager, par exemple, la manière dont nous dirigeons nos collaborateurs, quelles sont les conditions de travail de nos collaborateurs, etc., etc. La troisième et dernière sonde, celle de l'égalitarisme. Dans la caverne d'Ali Baba, qui est celle où se bousculent les technologies de l'information et de la communication, qui sont en développement rapide, comme par exemple, pour prendre donc un exemple d'aujourd'hui, la 5G qui nous attend. Nous ne devons pas puiser autre chose dans cette caverne que ce dont nous pouvons faire un bon usage. À l'abri, c'est important, autant que possible, de tout ce qui débouche sur l'inégal, sur les inégalités que l'on appelle négatives, dont celle qui est bien connue et qui est persistante de la fracture numérique. Que veut-on faire de toutes ces potentialités disponibles? Un projet néolibéral de marché, étatique de développement? Ou devons-nous, en sécurité sociale, orienter ces technologies à venir pour sauvegarder, consolider, développer une protection sociale accessible à tous, ainsi que le propose le sociologue espagnol Manuel Castells, qui est l'auteur, beaucoup d'entre vous le savent, d'une trilogie respectée qui est consacrée à l'ère de l'informatique. Devons-nous promouvoir un humanisme numérique comme le prône un autre Belge, Luc de Brabant-de-Reux, dans son Homo Informatics. Voilà, bonne réflexion et grand merci pour votre attention.
Et un grand merci à vous, Pierre Van der Vorst, président de SMALS. In the world of work today, ladies and gentlemen, everything revolves around flexibility, and the labour market moves along with it. But what does social security do? Is it still up to date? And what new developments merit attention? And how will social security remain future-proof? That is the third theme that we will cover this morning, and there's a video linked on this third challenge of labour markets. Let's have a look.
Belgium is in the best work-life balance top 5. Despite the fact that we're generally quite satisfied with our quality of life, 1/3 of all Belgians say their work-life balance could do with some improvement. People long for time credit.
Un job, une maison, 2 enfants, nous avons tout pour être heureux. Mais avec 2 emplois à temps plein, alors que les enfants sont encore si petits, ça c'est difficile à gérer. Arrêter de courir dans tous les sens, c'était un choix conscient. J'ai fait une pause dans ma carrière, je suis maintenant un mari au foyer à 100% et mon employeur était totalement d'accord. Dans le passé, nous courions seulement du travail à l'école, de l'école à la maison, de la maison à l'entraînement du football et entre-temps on faisait les courses. Et ça n'a pas marché. Maintenant, je sens qu'il y a beaucoup plus de paix et de calme dans notre famille et tout le monde respire à nouveau.
According to a study by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Belgium is in the top 5 of countries with the best work-life balance. So that's good, but why are we doing so well? For instance, by proactively addressing stress and burnout at work and improving overall working conditions, but also by offering flexible regulations with regard to time credit, parental leave, and career breaks. We're actually one of the first countries to embrace the social insurance challenge of the sharing economy and the platform economy. By means of an official innovative platform, people can offer their services and earn some extra money without having to pay additional taxes. We're also firm believers in an ounce of prevention being better than a pound of cure. So we take very targeted measures towards reducing the number of work-related accidents. We also offer free physio sessions for people with back pain. That's just one of the many things we do for workers with specific risks. It's all about making sure that people remain healthy and happy at work, mentally and physically. So even after a long period of incapacitation, both employees and employers are supported toward finding their way back to normality. Because that basically sums it up. We want people to be able to enjoy what they do professionally, so it rubs off on their overall sense of well-being. Getting a sense of satisfaction from contributing. It makes you feel like you matter. And for us, everyone matters.
François Pichot will explain how changes in the labour market affect social security. What impact will new forms of work have on building up rights? How do we organise our jobs in the light of an ageing population? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome full professor at the University of Liège, François Pichot.
Bonjour à tous, merci de votre présence très nombreuse. Je vais donc partager avec vous quelques réflexions autour de ce qu'on appelle aujourd'hui désormais les nouvelles formes d'emploi. En Belgique, comme dans beaucoup de pays aujourd'hui, se constate une croissance très importante de ces nouvelles formes qui sont, si vous voulez, intermédiaires entre le statut de salarié, que tout le monde connaît bien et sur lequel finalement l'ensemble de notre régulation sociale a été construite, et le statut d'indépendant. Et nous voyons effectivement, avec la nouvelle économie, avec la digitalisation croissante, une zone intermédiaire que certains appellent une zone grise d'emploi qui se développe. Alors la figure évidemment la plus connue étant le travail de plateforme, Uber, Deliveroo, Airbnb, mais également on voit se multiplier, et toutes les statistiques le montrent, les formes intermédiaires que sont les freelancers, les indépendants professionnels, c'est-à-dire des nouvelles formes d'indépendants qui ne sont pas le notaire, le médecin ou l'avocat, mais qui sont plutôt des consultants, des web designers, des formateurs, des IT workers. Voilà toute une série de nouvelles formes qui apparaissent et qui se développent un peu partout. Et ce que je vais essayer de partager avec vous, c'est que ces nouvelles formes interrogent finalement les fondements de ce que sont aujourd'hui, de ce qu'est aujourd'hui la protection sociale. Alors pourquoi l'interroge-t-il ? Parce qu'en fait, ces nouvelles formes de travail ont deux composantes essentielles qui sont différentes de la relation d'emploi traditionnelle. La première composante différente est le fait que la gestion de la relation de travail aujourd'hui devient de plus en plus triangulée dans le cadre de relations triangulaires de travail où vous avez une entreprise utilisatrice de main-d'œuvre, vous avez une entreprise fournisseuse de main-d'œuvre et vous avez des travailleurs entre les deux qui peuvent être donc triangulés dans ces relations de travail. Pensez par exemple à des sociétés qui fournissent de l'ingénieur et donc aujourd'hui une entreprise industrielle plutôt que d'engager un ingénieur va recourir au service d'une société qui lui fournit pendant un certain temps une prestation d'ingénieur. Puis vous avez également toutes les formes d'emploi que j'ai évoquées en début de parcours et qui font en sorte que la gestion même de la relation de travail devient évanescente d'une certaine manière. Elle devient une gestion commerciale, on achète de la prestation. Une deuxième composante très importante qui différencie ce qui se passe des anciennes ou des formes traditionnelles d'emploi, c'est que le contrôle, aujourd'hui, se fait de moins en moins sur le processus de travail, sur la manière de travailler, et de plus en plus sur le résultat de la prestation, sur le résultat du service proposé. Et donc tout ça contribue à faire naître le thème de l'autonomie. On parle de plus en plus de travailleurs autonomes, autonomous workers, et dans une certaine mesure, cette autonomie, aujourd'hui, on peut l'analyser au moins par 3 grandes dimensions. La première dimension, elle est statutaire. Effectivement, aujourd'hui, entre la forme pure de l'emploi salarié et auprès d'un même employeur et la forme pure de l'indépendant, il y a tout un gradient de possibilités. Vous avez évidemment des formes d'indépendants portés par des structures qui, d'une certaine manière, les salarient le temps d'une mission, etc. Vous avez toute une série de possibilités concernant la dimension statutaire. On peut également regarder dans quelle mesure l'accès à la protection sociale est fourni par ces intermédiaires. On peut regarder dans quelle mesure la personne a une liberté de choix de son statut, ou bien est-ce qu'il y est contraint par un employeur qui dit finalement je te demande de devenir indépendant pour que tu puisses continuer à travailler pour moi, etc., etc. Donc ça, c'est la première dimension de l'autonomie, le statut. Et d'une certaine manière, ça nous invite déjà à réfléchir là-dessus. Est-ce que cette autonomie est totale et dans quelle mesure y a-t-il des contraintes qui s'imposent à cette autonomie? Deuxième dimension que je vous propose de regarder, le contenu même du travail. Est-ce que finalement le travail est soi-disant uniquement contrôlé sur les résultats, ou bien est-ce qu'il y a des process à respecter, des prescriptions très, très précises? Et donc, à ce moment-là, est-ce qu'on ne peut pas, dans une certaine mesure, considérer qu'il y a une certaine forme de relation d'emploi salarié, même si le statut n'y correspond pas. Troisième grande dimension que je vous propose de prendre en compte, les conditions de travail. Que se passe-t-il, par exemple, en termes de formation? Est-ce à charge de cet indépendant, de ce freelancer, ou bien est-ce qu'il y a des solutions qui lui sont proposées? Quid de la régularité des revenus? Est-ce que le travailleur doit courir après le contrat au risque de ne pas bien faire son travail, mais parce qu'il veut assurer une certaine régularité de ses revenus, ou bien passe-t-il par des creux et par des pics? Que se passe-t-il en la matière? Que se passe-t-il également sur le temps de travail? Est-ce qu'on a évoqué la qualité de vie du travail en Belgique, dans ce troisième défi, mais est-ce que finalement on ne se trouve pas dans des situations où, à force d'enchaîner du travail à la pièce, si je puis dire, on se retrouve avec des journées de 50, des semaines de 50 à 75 heures, comme c'est attesté par un certain nombre de statistiques. Donc, on voit bien apparaître derrière l'image mythique ou utopique de l'autonomie au travail un certain nombre de risques. Des risques pour le travailleur lui-même, des nouveaux risques liés à cette autonomie au travail, des risques qui sont liés à son accès à la protection sociale, à sa couverture, par exemple, en cas de maladie, en cas de retraite, etc. Il y a des nouveaux risques qui apparaissent également pour le travailleur en termes de contenu du travail, s'il se trouve finalement dans des situations de travail où personne ne soutient finalement sa professionnalité et il est juste amené à délivrer du service très contraint, et des nouveaux risques en termes de conditions de travail, puisqu'on voit que il y a une probabilité assez grande que la formation n'ait pas lieu, puisqu'elle est prise en charge par le travailleur lui-même, donc il va la mettre de côté, que les revenus soient irréguliers, que le temps de travail soit un peu explosé, etc. Alors, ce qui est nouveau aujourd'hui, c'est que ces risques, qui sont bien documentés par la littérature et les recherches, commencent à devenir conscients dans la tête des entreprises utilisatrices. Elles se rendent compte que, finalement, recourir sans vergogne, si je puis dire, à une main-d'œuvre de ce type conduit, d'abord en termes de statut, à un problème d'invisibilité. Le nombre de fois que je fais des exposés devant des directeurs de ressources humaines d'entreprises en leur demandant « Savez-vous combien de freelancers, de travailleurs indépendants, de sous-traitants, etc., travaillent dans votre entreprise ?» Ils me disent « Nous n'en savons rien. Tout ça passe par le service achat et nous n'avons aucune visibilité sur ce qui se passe. C'est un fameux challenge. Une autre difficulté statutaire qui se pose pour les employeurs aujourd'hui est le risque de requalification. On en a parlé dans certaines des vidéos en disant finalement il suffit qu'il y ait un accident de travail ou un conflit qui se pose pour qu'un juge puisse montrer qu'il y a une relation de dépendance économique et que la relation doit être requalifiée en relation salariale. Donc voilà des premiers risques qui apparaissent sur le plan statutaire. Sur le plan du contenu du travail, on se rend compte aussi qu'à force de recourir à une main-d'œuvre hyper flexible, cela peut conduire à une dégradation de la qualité, à des problèmes d'engagement du travailleur. Et en termes de conditions de travail, on voit qu'une des difficultés liées au fait qu'il n'y a pas véritablement de possibilité de développement de compétences ou de régularité de revenus fait en sorte qu'on peut avoir une main-d'œuvre qui n'innove pas beaucoup, qui n'entretient pas sa professionnalité, qui va avoir des comportements opportunistes de quête du contrat, de déloyauté, etc. Donc, un ensemble de défis sont en train de se poser, et aussi bien pour les travailleurs que pour, j'hésite à les appeler employeurs, je dirais plutôt entreprises utilisatrices. Et aujourd'hui, on se dit, au fond, comment réguler tout ça ? Des chercheurs australiens ont essayé de réfléchir sur la question et on dit, au fond, il y a 5 grandes possibilités pour arriver à réguler ces nouvelles formes d'emploi. La première, peut-être la plus basique, consiste à dire, appliquons déjà le cadre existant. Appliquons déjà la législation existante. Il y a bien de domaines dans lesquels elle n'est finalement pas effective. C'est une première possibilité. Une deuxième possibilité consiste à dire élargissons le domaine de la relation d'emploi. C'est tout le débat aujourd'hui autour d'Uber, par exemple, et se dire est-ce qu'un chauffeur Uber n'est pas finalement un employé de l'entreprise Uber, ce que évidemment Uber conteste en disant nous ne sommes qu'un algorithme mettant en relation une offre et une demande. Donc c'est une deuxième possibilité, c'est d'élargir le champ de la relation d'emploi. Troisième possibilité, qui a été expérimentée dans plusieurs pays européens, c'est de créer finalement un troisième statut et de se dire entre l'emploi traditionnel et l'indépendant traditionnel, on peut également convenir de créer un statut comme par exemple en Angleterre, entre l'employee et le self-employed, vous avez désormais une catégorie worker. Alors le problème de cette troisième option, c'est qu'elle peut conduire, c'est un des effets pervers, un certain nombre d'employeurs à dire à leurs employés réguliers, deviens finalement worker, c'est une sécurité sociale un peu au rabais, ça me coûte moins cher. Donc on a beaucoup de réflexions critiques sur cette possibilité d'un troisième statut qui a été étudié en Belgique et qui n'a finalement pas été adopté. Quatrième possibilité, le scénario à la suédoise, si je puis dire, qui consisterait à dire prenons un système universel d'accès à la protection sociale, quel que soit le statut, que vous soyez chômeur, que vous soyez sous-traitant, travailleur temporaire, indépendant ou travailleur régulier, vous avez droit à une sécurité sociale complète. Alors c'est une formule ambitieuse et certaines réformes sont en train de se passer en Europe, notamment pour aller dans ce sens. Et la cinquième possibilité que je voudrais brièvement évoquer avec vous en clôture de cet exposé, c'est revoir la notion même d'employeur. Qu'est-ce qu'un employeur aujourd'hui ? On a évoqué à plusieurs reprises le tripartisme qui est fondateur de la sécurité sociale. Dans le tripartisme, c'est l'État, c'est les travailleurs et c'est les employeurs. Mais qu'est-ce qu'un employeur aujourd'hui ? Est-ce qu'on ne doit pas revoir cette notion ? Et je vous évoquais tout à l'heure une prise de conscience dans les milieux employeurs des risques qui sont liés aux nouvelles formes d'emploi. On voit se développer aujourd'hui un concept assez intéressant qui est celui de Total Workforce Management. Et donc, c'est cette idée que désormais, une entreprise doit pouvoir voir une vue complète de sa total workforce et pas seulement de ses employés réguliers. Et c'est avec cette vue complète qu'on peut commencer, il y a toute une série de défis qui se posent, à étudier des solutions alternatives, des solutions intéressantes de protection. Ça implique évidemment de sortir du droit social traditionnel, ça implique de commencer à parler avec des intermédiaires du marché du travail qui commencent à prendre le rôle finalement d'employeur entre le travailleur indépendant et la société utilisatrice. Ça implique de commencer à travailler avec des quasi-syndicats, des freelancers unions qui ne sont pas reconnus dans le dialogue social traditionnel, mais qui sont porteurs de nouvelles revendications sur les compétences, sur la régularité des revenus. Ça implique de travailler en partenariat avec d'autres entreprises, dans le cadre d'écosystèmes territoriaux, par exemple. Voilà toute une série de défis qui se posent, je crois, à la sécurité sociale lorsqu'on étudie ces nouvelles formes d'emploi. Donc, penser la multidimensionnalité de l'autonomie dans ces nouvelles formes d'emploi, essayer de comprendre qu'on doit sortir du droit social traditionnel et sans doute, peut-être, inventer des nouvelles coopérations avec des nouveaux acteurs comme ces intermédiaires du marché du travail ou ces quasi-syndicats, quasi-unions en anglais, qui sont en train d'émerger un peu partout, y compris dans notre propre pays. Voilà, je vous remercie pour votre attention.
Well, thank you for your contribution, François Pichot, full professor at the University of Liège. The last challenge, ladies and gentlemen, we want to highlight in this session concerns health and aging. Within just 30 years, the number of people aged 60 and over worldwide will double to 2 billion people. So how do we want to look after the elderly in the world of tomorrow, while at the same time keeping our social security affordable? In Belgium, the aging of the population has been a major reason for social security reforms for the last 2 decades. So we're also introducing this challenge with a video.
Life expectancy in Belgium reached 81.6 years. That's above the OECD average. By 2060, there will be approximately 2 billion people aged over 60. That's double today's number. We need to make sure we can keep meeting the needs of this age group.
Eh bien, j'ai travaillé dans une grosse boîte pendant une vingtaine d'années, puis là, j'ai eu envie de m'installer en tant qu'indépendante. Et là, je me suis demandé, mais que va-t-il se passer au niveau de ma pension, au niveau de mon salaire mensuel net, combien vais-je toucher, est-ce que ça va être plus, moins, si je veux prendre ma pension plus tôt, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Et puis là, je me suis connectée sur mypension.be et j'ai vraiment eu toutes les réponses à mes questions. C'est génial.
mypension.be is a website that allows people to see the exact amount of the pension they'll be receiving in the future. We're all getting older, and that's great news. But we're also going to have to think about how to adapt our social security to this upcoming surge of older people. In order to make pensions more affordable, the government is encouraging people to work longer. For instance, if you're retired and still full of energy, you can work a limited number of hours a week without having to pay taxes on the extra income. On the other hand, we're not expecting people to hammer away at their careers until well in their 60s. As of the age of 55, you can start working less and receive a supplementary benefit until you retire. And with regard to healthcare, our government has made sure the elderly can live independently for longer. For this, they can count on a financial allowance. Our healthcare system made great efforts to strengthen primary care and to promote better care coordination to address the needs of an aging population with a growing group of people with chronic conditions. Employees are entitled to go on leave and receive a benefit to take care of a sick relative. And finally, we're committed to offering electronic and mobile healthcare applications that guarantee a better follow-up and fewer hospital admittances. They also reduce costs and improve quality of care.
We have come to our last speaker this morning, Jo de Kok, as chairman of the Board of Public Social Security Institutions and general administrator of the Belgian National Institute for Health and Disability Insurance, is well placed to shed light on the issues of health and aging. Aging is not an insurmountable phenomenon, but it does require a number of thorough adjustments in the healthcare and pension sectors. He tells us this, his thoughts and his experiences in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our last speaker, Jo de Kok.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Social Security family, aging should and must be seen as a human success story. It is the triumph of public health and medical advancements over diseases and injuries, which together with social and economic development has resulted in an increasing human life expectancy. For the first time in history, according to a recent UN report on world population prospects, there are more elderly people in the world than young children. There are now around 700 million people over 65 on the planet, while those aged 0 to 4 years number about 680 million. And by 2050, there will be more people aged 60 years and over than young people aged 10 to 24 years. In a sense, the future in the world will have more grandparents than grandchildren. This evolution certainly induced many challenges for social security schemes, which are facing increasing age-related expenditure and therefore requires appropriate answers. Population aging is impacting on all aspects of society. But aging is not a uniform process. There are large inequities in life expectancy across socio-economic groups, and the difference between healthy life years is not equal for everybody. The major question, of course, is how to address the increasing social security demands of an aging population in a sustainable way. And the needs of the people must be the yardstick for the design of our appropriate social schemes. These include, in my regard, 3 essential components. And first, it's universal health care, which is accessible, of high quality, and affordable. The recent UN summit, which was held in September, last September in New York, stressed it very clearly that universal health coverage is the key factor for moving together to build a healthier world. And secondly, as the president of ISA has already said, long-term care policies which empower people to continue living actively and independently in their preferred environment as long as possible is needed, while of course professional support at home and institutional settings can be offered when needed. And last but not least, a strong first pillar pension, which offers a sufficient replacement rate and which prevents for poverty. But Belgium is coping with this changing context. Which reforms have been realized or are on the way? Which additional steps are needed? And before turning to the pension scheme, let's have a look to our healthcare system, and especially our social health insurance. The basic characteristics of them are well known. It's a compulsory system with universal coverage, financed by social contributions and taxes, including a broad benefit package with a free choice of patients of health providers and a large accessible range of health services. It's involving the sickness funds and health professionals in the governance of the system as they conclude agreements about prices and tariffs and define orientations for the future. In short, we can say that the organization of our scheme is based on a balance between solidarity and responsibility, and on the principle of responsible partnership shared by employees, employers, sickness funds, health professionals, and the government. Belgians are proud of their health system, although some of them are confronted sometimes with high out-of-pocket payments, notwithstanding the introduction of a maximum billing scheme some years ago, limiting the financial burden for patients. But an important degree of satisfaction is not sufficient to navigate to the future, especially while we are confronted with a demographic and epidemiological transition. As a consequence, like many countries, we have to face an increasing burden of people with chronic conditions. Those will be the leading cause of illness in the next decades. According to the results of the most recent health survey, which was held in our country, nearly 30% of the Belgian respondents suffer from chronic diseases, more than 30%. And this number shows a significant increase in the last 20 years. This evolution has created a wake-up call for a paradigm shift in healthcare and to be consequently reform social health insurance. And this paradigm shift implies that health schemes should evolve from a supply-driven to a demand-driven and patient-oriented system, from acute and episodic interventions and treatments to more integrated ones, from a monodisciplinary way of health provision by health professionals to multidisciplinary teamwork, from curative strategies to prevention, from an emphasis on processes and volumes towards a focus on outcomes and added value. This evolution has a huge impact on the design of the Belgian social health insurance itself, which is not only an insurance covering the risks of medical costs only, but also an important lever for public health too. A broad range of instruments were introduced to underpin this goal, and allow me to give some examples. In primary care, we introduced incentives to stimulate general practitioners to work in group practices and to provide them administrative support. Payments for them are not merely based anymore on a fee-for-service basis. A global electronic medical file was introduced, as you have seen in the movie, in a generalized way, and better financial protection and access were created for chronic patients. A number of action plans were recently launched supporting the emergence of collaborative networks between different health providers and paving the way for new financial mechanisms. But also in other sectors, as the hospital sector, for instance, important reforms are underway. We are trying to modernize the concept of a hospital. The hospital of the future must be seen not as a house of beds, but as a medical technological center of expertise. And therefore, our hospitals are invited to create networks with other hospitals and health professionals within and beyond the walls. Substitution of care towards day treatments of home care is created and stimulated, while complex procedures with heavy risks are limited to centers with proven medical expertise. An important aim is to review hospital financing, incorporating the principles of pay for quality too. And in the meantime, the payment system for the payment of physicians is recently launched. Finally, containing the medical costs for patients and protecting them from extra billing has to be a major objective also in these reforms. All these reforms must lead to the right care on the right place. This will lead to a reallocation of investments and task shifting of health professionals. But coinciding with this demographic and epidemiological transition, we entered also in an unprecedented scientific and medical technological innovation era. Creating sustainable access and integrating this evolution is for many countries, also for us, a source of growing concern. What is confronting health systems and social insurance schemes is a strange paradox. Recently, a newspaper headlined, "Now we can beat cancer, we can't afford it anymore." And while healthcare systems are trying to contain the healthcare expenditure growth, the number of very promising therapies and technologies are increasing at a fast rate, together with high launch prices. High-cost treatments, nevertheless, are not always available then or cannot be accessed by patients who need them. Access to healthcare, nevertheless, is a pivotal point of our health systems. Access to healthcare helps a person maintain her or his health-related functioning in order to pursue a broad range of opportunities that society offers. Access to healthcare is a human right. And in this context, it is necessary to find appropriate answers and to take proactive measures and initiatives to improve this access. New is not always better and does not always lead to more value for money. And therefore, our country relies on health technology assessment to make coverage decisions and to provide evidence on medical technologies and interventions. Belgium has been the co-founder of a network between different European member states on information exchange and pricing of reimbursement for new medicines and medical technologies. And together with a large number of countries, we set up an international horizon scanning initiative recently. In this way, we try to increase our preparedness for future developments, to strengthen our capacity for evaluation, and to reinforce our bargaining power with industry. Last, e-health, or digital health, has the potential to improve healthcare. It's already a major component in most health systems on different levels, creating a new world of healthcare. We have to take advantage of the different opportunities e-health offers to drive improvements in healthcare. And let's give some examples. In the first place, e-health will contribute to support professionals involved in health delivery to communicate better with each other, working as a team and creating a care continuum for the patients. In order to create a safe and secure environment in this domain, a public e-health platform was created, which is the backbone of exchange and secure exchange of medical data between health professionals. Digital health can lead to more systematic and high-quality care by the use of clinical information decision support tools and knowledge management tools of health professionals. Reference databases with clinical guidelines were created and integrated in the electronic health records. And by using real-time patient monitoring or mobile health applications, more proactive and targeted care can be delivered, reducing costs and improving outcomes. E-health will facilitate patient engagement and self-management by providing better and more direct information to everyone about health and illness, and by creating the possibility to patients to give feedbacks about outcomes and experiences. The Belgian authorities created this year a personal health viewer, which is a secured portal allowing patients to consult the available data on their health status, their use of medications, and their results of medical examinations. This portal also publishes information with regard to valuable mobile health applications. Of course, e-health has the potential to simplify administrative procedures and lower their costs. And as from next year, only electronic prescriptions for pharmaceuticals will be allowed in our country. Let's finish on healthcare. We should be aware and not forget that health systems alone cannot realize the objectives of healthy aging. A lot of other factors are involved, such as good lifestyles and healthy behavior, environmental factors, and income. A substantial reduction of inequalities in life expectancies require, therefore, action on a broad range of health determinants and efforts also in the field of both health and technological literacy. We should keep in mind also that independent of population aging as such, Price evolution and technological advancement will be the drivers to future healthcare growth. And as the London School of Economics wrote it and formulated this recently very boldly, referring to a famous quote, "It's not aging stupid. Aging and population aging will not bankrupt health systems." Let's go to pensions. The last decade has been also a period in a lot of countries of intense reform activity in the area of pension schemes, and it's in three ways. The most visible measure was the raising of the legal pension age. Many countries have been moving this parameter beyond the mark of 65 years. And in Belgium, the legal pension age will increase from the current 65 years to 66 in 2025 and 67 in 2030. Raising the pension age is not an easy decision. Most people are not happy to be told that they will have to work longer, although the time spent in retirement is growing. Systematically, this reform was combined with a reduction of options for pre-pensioning and early retirement. And finally, other measures aim to change criteria and parameters for calculating pension benefits in order to realize and try to realize convergence between different pension schemes. We must emphasize that it's of great importance to assure that the raise of the retirement age is sufficiently accompanied by appropriate workplace interventions to enable people to work longer. And they should also be aligned with the dynamic disability for work scheme looking to reintegration when needed and when possible. Nevertheless, all these reforms aim to solve only one part of the pension puzzle, especially the financial challenges. The other part is of equal importance and relates to the social sustainability, and especially the question whether pensions will be sufficient to provide adequate living conditions for elderly in the future. Therefore, a good adequacy between the pension income and the former income of labor is necessary. In our country, this replacement rate is probably too modest. Hereby, it is of great importance to keep in mind some general principles or guidelines which can guide and which should inform future policies. Some of them were clearly brought forward in reports of the Belgian Commission for Pension Reform, and they seem to me worthwhile to be mentioned here. The Commission strongly recommended preserving and reinforcing the idea as a social contract being a feature, a central feature, essential feature of pension schemes. The Commission defended a strong legal pension scheme in the first pillar, reinforced with supplementary pensions at company or sector level. The pension level should be an adequacy, as already taught, with a former standard of living and the length of the professional career. A maximum ceiling of pension benefits can be justified by reason of social justice and solidarity. But on the other side, the level of minimum pensions should be more generous in our country in order to guarantee a decent standard of living above the risk of poverty threshold. Persons who are temporarily unable to get income for reasons out of their control should have the possibility of building up pension rights for these periods on a justified and equilibrated way. And in order to take into account differences in life expectancy, pensions should include appropriate compensation mechanisms. Linking pensions to the global increase in life expectancy, as already done in some countries, should consider existing inequalities and should be based on reliable projections and be the case for other propositions and measures which are impacting our pension schemes. Compensation mechanisms could be introduced and should be introduced for people working in so-called arduous jobs. Such a compensation should not restrain people changing their job and must take into account also the changes in the labor market over time. Finally, flexibility is necessary in the way pension could be built up in the new platform economy, also taking into account different family situations for the elderly. A right balance must be found between individual pension rights and the social protections of families. Pension schemes, ladies and gentlemen, are not existing in isolation. More than ever before, we need consistent coordination of labor markets, social, pension and financial policies to ensure that people's careers and life courses are accompanied by the most effective measures, helping them to maximize their chances retiring comfortably for the future. Social institutions, as our pension organizations, have their role to play in giving the right information. And you have seen in the movie the initiative called My Pension, which is an electronic platform allowing pensioners and future pensioners to exchange electronic communications and give them access to all the relevant information on their pension record. In general, pension reform should reflect societal evolutions and concerns and end up in a coherent long-term perspective as pension systems rely on intergenerational solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, I conclude. Our social security system must be fit for the future. According to ESA ranking, health and population aging are ranked among the 3 greatest challenges in all regions all over the world. Therefore, we must and we need continue our ambition and further build on our experience and our tradition of 92 years for ESA and 75 years for Belgium. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Jo de Kok. Ladies and gentlemen, we have almost come to the end of this second part of this morning's program. Before we round up, we're just going to watch once more to the film from the beginning of this session, because a lot of people didn't come in yet and they were still looking for their seats. So let's have a look once more.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to the World Social Security Forum. Also, welcome to Belgium. As you know, every country in the world has to deal with stereotypes that are hard to get rid of. Belgium is no exception, so here are a few things I'd like to review before getting started. First of all, there is this idea that the only famous Belgians are limited to Tintin, the Smurfs, and Hercule Poirot. Characters who basically don't exist. There are plenty of famous Belgians. Just think of Magritte, Hergé, Amélie Nothomb, Jacques Brel, Toots Tielemans, Stromae, Kim Kleisters. Secondly, we do not only drink beer. We also have the occasional Geneva from time to time. Nor do we only eat French fries and waffles. We're just different. We value our well-being, making us some of the most contented people in the world. When we think of providing security, most of us think of our kids, which makes sense. But the kind of security we stand for goes beyond the people living under your roof. We're referring to a different kind of family, regardless of background, age, gender, and income.
J'aime le sentiment de ne pas me sentir seul. Je trouve très rassurant de pouvoir me replier sur quelque chose de quelqu'un. Et en vieillissant, j'ai vraiment fait l'expérience de cette valeur ajoutée, cette solidarité.
Solidarity. It's so fundamental to us that it's the backbone of our social security. It makes us feel safe.
Je veilig voelen is zo belangrijk. En dat heeft dan niet per se te maken met gevaar trotseren, maar weten dat je gewoon verder kan, zonder je eigenlijk ergens zorgen over te moeten maken. En daar gaat het om. Na mijn ingreep heb ik mij gewoon kunnen focussen op mijn revalidatie, zonder eigenlijk mijn leven te moeten reorganiseren, zonder in te boeten op mijn levenskwaliteit.
Quality of life. That's what it's all about, isn't it? There's a saying that really defines Belgians. They say we're born with a brick in our stomachs. Basically, it means we want a place we can call home and a friend to fall back on when things didn't go exactly the way we planned. We've been continuously building on that need for protection for 75 years now. Contrary to other countries, our system combines income-related insurance with poverty reduction. There's a reason why we're a country with one of the lowest Gini indexes in the world, and our e-government model is considered a best practice worldwide. We're also front runners with regard to innovation and digitalization. So next time you think about Belgium, don't think about this. Unless you look at it in terms of how important social security is to us. It's about making sure everyone feels like they matter. Certain situations simply require a bit of support. It's a social thing. And there's nothing stereotypical about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Before we head off for lunch, I just want to mention a few things about the social activities. Under the motto of Best of Belgium, a special program was put together consisting of nothing but ingredients that make Belgium quite unique. Some of them were mentioned in the film that we just saw. So firstly, as you know, we are a country of beer brewers. I know it's a cliché, but it's a reality and we're proud of it. So tomorrow and the day after, you can discover our rich beer culture from 5:30 p.m. onwards in the fine ambience of the beer bar. It's located on the 5th floor of this building. You will be overlooking the beautiful skyline of Brussels as well, so you can enjoy a good selection of Belgian beers, and the selection also includes some non-alcoholic beers. On Wednesday, you can join a guided tour of the Magritte Museum, where you can admire the famous masterpieces of René Magritte, a painter who caused a furore with his alienating surrealistic images, and that's absolutely recommended, that visit. So is the Coudenberg Museum, where you can admire the most beautiful archaeological finds. That's on Tuesday evening. The finds are of the enchanting Coudenberg Palace that once dominated Brussels. If you are interested in participating in one of these social activities, you do need to register, and don't wait too long because the number of places are limited. You can register by exchanging the voucher from your badge for an entrance ticket at the National Participants Registration Desk. Your voucher says you have to go to the EPPS stand, but that's wrong. You just have to go to the National Participants Registration Desk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have something to eat. On behalf of the Belgian Public Social Security Institutions and the National Organizing Committee, I would like to invite you for lunch. It takes place in the Grand Hall. It's at the level -2. The next plenary session starts at 2:30 p.m. in this room. Enjoy your meal.